Hey, how you guys doing? I'm Alex. Yeah, so as you can see, it's called the Jagdtiger. So Jagdtiger with a GD, and then of course the J is actually silent in Germany. Well, not silent, it actually sounds more like a Y, so it actually is pronounced Jagdtiger. And then there is another one which is pretty cool. It's called the Wolfentiger, which it's an auto-loading, just crazy gun. Anyway, so Sobogorsky is the map, and we got 3 people from the clan. Yeah, this is actually one of my better matches. It's a very long game. It's very drawn out, but it's well worth it. At the end of this, I'm going to end up doing almost 5,000 damage and 3 kills, but I'm going to land a lot more shots than that. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you that because I own the E100, I know all the secrets to it. What I mean is that the best way to defeat a tank is to actually own it and drive it. So I know all the weak points on an E100, which is probably going to be it's beneficial to me in this game, and you guys will see why. I don't want to ruin it for you, but what is it? Hectic, he got his patent, his M46 patent, and Deadly Snipes is a new member to the clan, and he has, I believe he has the Mouse. So yeah, the Mouse is a really superb side scraping tank. The turret's actually placed back on it. I actually seen somebody a documentary on it, and the thing was over 15 feet tall, which is just crazy. That means the E100, you know, is probably like, you know, I'm gonna say it's got to be like about 14 foot tall. So this thing's got to be pretty damn tall too. So I would say if you were standing next to this thing, your hands would just touch the top of where the back of the tank is, just the top of it. I mean, these things are absolutely massive. They just get bigger and bigger. So this is actually a really good place right here for the Jag. So something you might not know about the Jagdtiger is the armor ratings, which I'll give you. They're not the best, but the gun on this, the next gun I'm gonna get is actually the next upgrade, or the next tank that I get, is actually the Panzer or Jagdpanzer E100. So it's basically an E100 with no turret like this. The thing that's funny is it only has 223 penetration, but it does almost 688 damage. Now this thing, you can see I'm pinning the top of the E100. If you guys see this, this is not normal. I know exactly where to shoot this thing, and if you hit it just in the right spot, you can pin it. Now he's realizing he's getting shot. He probably doesn't even understand how, and so he's turning his turret now because he doesn't know who's shooting him. And now I can't hit him because he wasn't giving me a 90 degree on his turn. So he tries again, but he moves backwards. So just wanted to show you that's one weak spot that you may not know about. The only thing is that you need at least a 250 pin. So this has 276 penetration on its final gun, which is just, it's one of the highest pins in the game. So armor is 250 millimeters, and it's angled, which is crazy. It doesn't even have to be angled. I mean, I'm not kidding you. It's the same thickness as the E100, I think. Actually, the E100 only has 200 millimeters on the front plate, and you can't get through that. So the Jagdtiger also has, you know, the penetration and damage. It does 500 per shot, which is just crazy. So I'm going to go ahead and see here. So 276 penetration, and it does 560 damage per shot, but I notice it will go over that. So really good tank. Having that armor really makes a humongous difference with this tank. So the sides are nothing. Nothing, you know, special. 80 millimeters, which is perfect, perfect armor for side scraping. It's also 80 in the back, which means a lot of times when people come behind you, they have to have premium shells to get through because it's at a slight angle, which is pretty cool. So now that we got that out, you'll notice that this is a tank killer and I'm not using binoculars. One of the reasons why is that the grind to get to the last gun, this was actually my second game with the upgraded barrel. And so, yeah, basically, second game with the upgraded gun. And so, before I had it set up to counteract the inaccuracy of the tier 10 Ferdinand gun, which is a really good gun, does 500 damage per shot. And you guys seen that match, I think I did it for the Ferdinand, where I got something like, I think it was 6 kills, or I got 8 kills with the thing. Just crazy. So yeah, something's killing people on the left side, and we just lost hectic shots, and I'm assuming that it's the Death Star. So if it was the Death Star, when I get pinned here, as you can see, I got shot right on the left side of the tank. So you can see right there's a black spot. Anyway, I go ahead and back up, and I give him my front plate. So I don't know it at the time, but it's actually the Wolfen Tiger. And somebody gets him, right? So now there's only a T-30 over there, which I can't see him. So I'm displacing. The best things to do is to give people the front, because 250 millimeters, you just ain't getting through that. It's possible, and there are weak points on the Jagd Tiger. I'm going to go ahead and say there are definitely weak points on the Jagd Tiger. But, so I'm displacing, I'm asking Deadly Sniper if he needs help. He's actually saying he doesn't need any help. I think that he's not aware that there's 2 E100s coming up on him. And he's using a building and he's side scraping. So I'm hoping that the E100 is like right there. We got a Death Star with full health. This game's looking like we're just gonna you know, own these guys. And so I'm like not really looking forward to, you know, going head to head with any of these guys, but I'm like, I think I can get a shot on this Death Star, and then he disappears, so he's not spotted anymore. And so I'm like trying to get a good position, and I just happened to back up, and you can see he shot me and it did not pin me. So the Death Star does not have enough to pin 250 millimeters, especially on an angle. The T-30 apparently does, though. He probably knows where to shoot me. I'm going to go ahead and say that right now, because he shot me in a place that's not normal. So he either just got really lucky, or he has better pin than the Death Star, which is possible, because I've seen people that own the Death Star and it just doesn't have good accuracy. A lot of times you have to use premium rounds if you want to one-shot people, and it, you know, because it does 1100 damage. So I'm waiting for the T-30 to get stupid, but he's not. He's just going to keep giving me his hull. Or I'm sorry, his turret. And you aren't pinning a turret on a T-30, but you can pin the hull because it's basically a T-29. It's a tier 7 hull with a tier 10 gun on it. So I asked again if he needed help. He said no. They ended up killing him. I think he actually, I'm just going to go ahead and say, I think he rage quit. I would have been pretty upset too. I think they wore him down. The E100s were wearing him down. His teammates on that side weren't giving him support. So I'm trying to get over there and cover 2 flanks now. This is where they can come through and get behind me. So this is probably the place where they're going to come. But when we stop here, I notice, hey, somebody finally kills that E100 I was shooting at, but there's another one. And that T-30, he's rushing. So the E100 looks like he's just hanging out, and the Death Star's staying where they were. So I'm like, I better turn around and face this guy. And I realize he starts backing up. I don't think he can see me. Otherwise it would say, my sixth sense would say I was detected. So I go ahead and just back up. And I know that T-30 is coming this way, so I want to face him. if I use the mountain right, he's not going to be able to see the front of my tank and pin me. I swung a little wide here, unfortunately. I swing a little wide, and so when he comes around the corner, he can still pin me, and I bounced him. It's just crazy how I bounced him. So he made a really bad tactical error, and that is he does not have any armor. He was thinking, I'm just going to come around the corner, one shot this guy, and that's it. And he's kind of freaking out now. You can tell he's panicking, and he hits the mountain. And I think if he wouldn't have missed, I probably would have been dead right there. And of course, somebody else is there to get the kill. So, you know, I think I would have got him, but it's okay. This is where it starts getting epic. We went from having the favor to now where it's just me and artillery, and I have the Death Star, which he's on his last leg, and an E-100 that has over 1,800 armor left. He gets 2,800 armor, so halfway he's probably at the 1,800 mark, or maybe he's at 1,500. Regardless, that's 3 shots with 600. And of course, I'd have to hit him in the bottom plate or that upper hatch, which is pretty hard. So the artillery is basically saying, hey, you know, go cap the base. You know, go get their artillery, you know, and I'm going to hang up here and try and give you cover. So I'm sitting here thinking, I need to just get onto the base and force him. And of course, the Death Star does something stupid. He hadn't even detected me yet. And that's where the Jagdtiger has superior field of view. Stock, it can see 390, and horizontally it can see even further than that. I'm actually going to double check that. So 390 meters you can see. So Jagdtiger on Sigorsky. So all I got now is the E-100. I'm sitting there thinking, let the E-100 go to the cap, and artillery, you know, I'll take care of their artillery, and our artillery can take care of that E-100, or at least stop him from capping. That's what we're thinking he's going to do, but he's not. He's actually actively searching for me right now. He probably seen that I don't have any health, and he thinks, hey, it's a tier 9. What could he possibly do? Well, what I could possibly do is know every single weak point on the E-100, and why? Because I own it. Yeah, it's become my not so favorite tank. I use it in certain circumstances, like if we're in a platoon of 10 and we're getting outgunned and we need more armor. You know, here he is, he's looking for me. I land a shot right on the neck of his turret, and then I'm backing up and displacing. I don't want him to get a lucky shot and hit me like on the hatch or something, you know, or right on the top of the tank. So I'm going to side scrape here. And I'm going to give him just the top of my tank so he can't pin me. I tried to track him, and all I got was a critical hit. So I'm like, I'm going to have to hit him in the front here, front plate. I can see that he's got a 17-second reload. He's trying to ram me, so I go forward and then start backing up at the last second. It doesn't do anything, which he makes a tactical error. As you can see, I could see red there, and the reason why is because he was at a down angle. So I was able to easily penetrate underneath his turret. He's lucky I didn't ammo rack him. Yeah, pretty cool. I thought that was just epic, taking out an E-100 that had half health. It required 3 shots from me. You know, but I did want to say that the penetration on this tank, when you upgrade it, is just insane. It's got one of the highest penetrations in the game. It's got 276 penetration. There's nothing you're not pinning with this gun. There we go, one shotter on him. So 560 is what you get. Now the reload is probably the most important thing, is that it's right at 10 seconds. Now I'm going to tell you right now that I'm using all kinds of perks for that, but anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. You know, 3 kills, was it 4,991 damage, and I got a new ace tanker. Yeah, comment, like, and subscribe, and have a good one. Later.